Well, good morning, everybody. What beautiful, this is typical Cleveland weather for those of you that aren't from in town here. Thank you very much for coming. You know, the last year or so has really been a year of achieving milestones. And we just keep kind of checking off things on the list, things that a lot of people were skeptical we could get done, and we just continue to do it. And we're standing on top of a structure that a lot of people didn't think would get done in as timely a fashion or turn out to be as fantastic as it is. The background, of course, we just had our celebration of the opening of the Medical Mart, now the Global Center for Health Innovation, and another milestone achieved. Part of that has happened because we keep putting together the right team. We keep assembling the right partners. And today is the latest benchmark that we have reached in terms of finding the right partners to help us achieve this dream of the greater Cleveland area and make it a reality. So today we're excited to announce who I believe will be the operator of the Convention Center Hotel. We ended up having 6 operators who responded to our request for proposals, and that was important too because what it showed was the great demand and great interest kind of from the hotel industry nationwide, so that's an excellent sign. And we couldn't be happier to be announcing this proposed partnership with Hilton. It's been around for nearly a century. They operate more than 550 hotels all across the globe, 6 continents. Hilton Worldwide, which includes Hilton Hotels and Resorts, as well as the Waldorf Astoria Hotels, DoubleTree, Embassy Suites, and Hampton Hotels, to just name a few. It all adds up to about 4,000 properties and more than 650,000 rooms. So when we set out our expectations or aspirations, this is exactly the kind of world-class, first-class partner that we hoped that we would be able to announce. The new hotel, which is going to be located directly behind us, is at the current location of the Cuyahoga County Administration Building. If we were inside the building, you'd see people furiously packing up boxes and starting to move out. So we're getting ready to start deconstruction fairly soon. Some people suggested we not move out before deconstruction started, but we are going to get out of the building before that happens. It's going to be a 600 to 650 room hotel. We're looking at approximately 55,000 square feet of meeting space, which is going to complement the meeting space that exists at the Global Center for Health Innovation and also the Convention Center itself. It's going to connect on an underground level to both the Convention Center and the Global Center for Health and Innovation, and that's very important because it's this connectivity that makes for a seamless operation that helps us really be more competitive for attracting conventions and visitors here, which is so important. That's really a prerequisite for many organizations and companies that are looking at bringing their conventions and their visitors here. It just makes for a more pleasant and customer-friendly environment. The new full-service Convention Center Hotel is expected to begin construction by the end of this year, and we believe it's going to open in 2016. Cuyahoga County has and is going to continue to work collaboratively with Hilton, but not just Hilton, of course. Also, the new Global Center for Health Innovation management team with SMG, the architects, which is both VOA and Cooper Carey, and an interior design firm called Anderson Miller. We're also working kind of with our civic partners, so we're going to continue to work with the Group Plan Commission as we hope that this is the latest example of fulfilling the group plan that was originally designed for Cleveland by Daniel Burnham a century ago. I can't stress enough how much we believe this is going to strengthen our hand when it comes to attracting large-scale events and conventions to the greater Cleveland area. If you look at our primary competition, whether it's Columbus or Cincinnati or Indianapolis, all of them have attached hotels. That is just a deal breaker for many conventions when they're looking at where they want to locate their events. We're also, with the construction of this hotel, we're really hitting a milestone in terms of the total number of hotel rooms, which again allows us to just compete much more effectively for conventions of size and scale and scope. At this point in time, I want to turn it over to some of our partners in this. I want to start with Dave Gilbert from Positively Cleveland. He could talk about the importance of this project and how we've already seen that it's starting to affect our ability to attract conventions to this great facility. Dave?
Thanks. Thanks very much. First, I guess I just want to thank the county executive and his team. They've been working very hard, not only to make this happen, but to make it happen as quick as possible, because there are people now who are absolutely ready to book. It really is amazing the development that's gone on in this community just in the past couple of years and what's under construction now related to the travel and tourism industry. With the new convention center, the Global Center for Health Innovation, the Horseshoe Casino, you have the expansion of the Art Museum and the Museum of Contemporary Art, the new aquarium, and many hotel projects, not just this one, but many with a lot of private investment. They're all being made to advance the travel and tourism industry. But I will tell you that this hotel, this is really a significant missing piece that we've had. And as the county executive mentioned, our competition have all seen that when they open their centers or shortly thereafter, there was a strong need to have an attached convention center hotel. Our organization spends a lot of our time and energy selling this city, making sure that this building that we're standing on is filled. And we're out there every day meeting with convention planners, and we know for a fact that this hotel will be an absolute difference maker. I'm just going to give you a few examples. While I can't say specific association names because things aren't signed, I could just give you some that it just shows right away that this is making a difference. There's one that we're working on right now that we know once we announce that this is going to be a Hilton, they're going to sign for 2018. It's going to mean about 7,200 room nights for the community. More importantly, that will translate into over $4 million, about $4.2 million of economic impact. There's another that we were in the running for and lost to Indianapolis for 2015. And we were told the reason we lost, they love Cleveland, love the idea of the new center. We lost because we didn't have an attached convention hotel. They're now open for 2016 and 17. And in fact, there is a meeting on Monday that Mike Burns, our Senior VP of Sales, is meeting with them on Monday to talk about one of those years for Cleveland. We're very confident now that we have this, it's going to be here. Another very, very major show, another association show that Cleveland is a finalist for at the IX Center. It's not just for this building, but even the IX Center would be an enormous show. Bringing about 16,000 visitors, about a $20 million economic impact per year. Importantly, it's a multi-year commitment that we're looking at. That the only way we are now in the stage being a finalist because we have this hotel. So it rounded out the kind of hotel package that they need to be here. And I will tell you that is quite frankly, a small sample of the things we're working on where this announcement today, announcing that this hotel will happen, announcing it will be a Hilton, will make a difference. And finally, I just say we're thrilled that this is going to be a Hilton. As the county executive mentioned, tremendous operator, but they bring to the table a national sales program. They bring to the table a tremendous loyalty program that simply isn't representing Cleveland. And so it really adds to our whole package of the right kind of hotels that are going to assuredly fill this building and fill all the hotels in town. So we're looking forward to much more to come.
Right. I just want to emphasize again, there are so many, if you look at this entire footprint here, there were skeptics were quite outspoken about different milestones that they never thought we would reach, whether it was the original financing for the whole project, which they didn't think could happen, but it did, or the fact that the construction would be done in a way that would create a beautiful facility for the convention center and the medical mart. There were a lot of skeptics about that. They were proved wrong on that as well. That we were going to get first-class tenants into the Global Center for Health Innovation. A lot of people didn't believe that was happening. We've proved that as well. Then that we would be able to complete this on time and on budget. And we were actually ahead of schedule and under budget. All of those achievements led to this announcement today. Then when we talked about doing a convention center hotel, there are people that say, well, it's just not going to happen. You're not going to be able to find the financing. You're not going to be able to find the right operator. So again, for all of those people who are skeptical about that, this is another milestone where we've proven that all of these things are starting to line up and the stars are aligning in a way that's very good for Cleveland. So without any further ado, I want to introduce and recognize Ted Ratcliffe. He's the Senior Vice President of Operations of Eastern North America for Hilton Worldwide, and Greg Rocket, he's the Vice President of Managed Development for Hilton Worldwide, to talk a little bit about this exciting partnership. Gentlemen?
Thank you. Thank you. On behalf of Hilton Worldwide, let me just say that first of all, we're thankful that the selection committee chose Hilton for this great project, but we just couldn't be more thrilled to be here. When you walk this part of Cleveland and you look at what you've already got in place, we just cannot wait to be sort of part of that, and we're kind of really raring to go. I think all of us at Hilton really understand that this is a collaborative process, and it's this collaboration with the city, particularly with the county, with the convention center, and with the community that's really going to lead to success. And we view that success not only in a financial way and contributing to the sort of the financial umbrella, if you will, and the good things that Cleveland can be and will be in the future, but also the community involvement, employing the residents, reaching out and being part of, and we want to be the home base for the community within this destination. So all of us are extremely, again, gratified, and we really appreciate the vote of confidence being given. And I'll tell everybody in Cuyahoga County and in Cleveland that we will not let you down. We are really looking forward to this opportunity. We've been jealously looking at Cleveland for years. We haven't been here in a major way. We are thrilled to be here, and we're thrilled to be here today on such a glorious day to be part of this announcement. Thank you.
Great. Any questions?
What kind of cost you're looking at for this?
Sorry?
What sort of cost estimate do you have for the project at this point?
Well, it depends on kind of the features that you have in the hotel. So, I mean, there's a pretty big range. I think it'll be in the neighborhood of $260 million. But that depends on what the features are that are built into the hotel, both from a design standpoint and a construction standpoint. We've looked at preliminary designs for what the hotel could look like. What we want to balance is we want to build something and have something built and designed for us that's economical. At the same time, we do want it to be iconic, and in creating an iconic structure sometimes adds some cost, and you have to balance those things out. We also want something that kind of our marching orders to our architect and design team is that we want something that's reflective of Cleveland's progress and the new Cleveland, but we also want to respect the group plan. We want it to be consistent with the group plan, and we also want it to kind of be a bridge between the traditional architecture of Cleveland and the new things that are happening in Cleveland. So to have an exact price tag today, we cannot do until that design process is, but that's the neighborhood that we would be in. Any other questions? Yes, sir. Sure. And I'm going to have Jeff Applebaum probably address. He's been kind of our point person on a lot of this whole project, really from the very beginning. But the bottom line is this: that the property behind me, being the old county administration building, was put on the market when we originally started our whole property consolidation and divestment process that we started a couple years ago with the county. When we identified that the county owned too many buildings, they were inefficient, and it made sense to reform that whole process. So we had that out there at that point in time. If a completely private developer wanted to come in, buy the property from us with or without our assistance, and then turn it into a completely privately operated, private sector operation. That didn't happen. We did not get a single proposal to transform our county administration building into a hotel. Not one. The only proposals that we got were basically to turn it into a parking garage. And one of the things that we have to do, I think, as civic leaders, one thing that I think is consistent with the group plan is we have to make long-term decisions for these key properties that are the really highest and best use of the property. To sell that off for a couple $1 million maybe it would have gotten a good headline for a moment or two because we could have said we sold off the county administration building. But to just have a parking garage, a glorified parking garage, to be next to this incredible mall would be a complete waste of the public space, and I think would have been in contravention to good public planning. So we decided not to go that route. We reopened this process as a hotel-specific process, with the county being an owner of the hotel. If you look at convention center hotel projects across the country, certainly from markets that are comparable to ours, it almost does not exist without there being some type of public ownership and public support. Now, that can be done in different ways. Sometimes it's the city that owns it, sometimes it's a county, sometimes it's a convention center authority, sometimes a new nonprofit is created. But there's almost always some type of public ownership and public subsidy. But I do want to recognize Jeff Applebaum just to address your point a little more directly. Jeff?
One comment I would make on that, in our due diligence, we obviously looked at a variety of models, and we took a look at what was out there, what is possible, and what you've heard the county executive state is correct. As a matter of fact, as part of our due diligence with Hilton, and we'll have Hilton comment on this, right now in their portfolio, they have at least 10 convention center type hotels, which are all publicly subsidized, and somewhere between 8 and 10 of those are probably publicly owned in the same similar model to what we have. So this is not only is it not an unusual model, it's really what you have to do in order to maximize your resource here. And that is because when you do a convention center hotel as opposed to a private hotel, there's certain things you impose on that owner. By way of example, they have to be open to block booking. They have to be open to large-scale booking for the convention center. They have to keep a number of rooms open for a significant period of time for pricing at a convention center level. A private developer would not do that. They would only act in their own best interest. This is a management agreement where the hotel acts in collaboration with the convention center and the community. So it really is the proper model for a project like this.
I'll just piggyback on those comments, and I don't think there's a whole lot more to be said, except that we're very used to this model. You don't have to look too far. Columbus is basically has the same model with Franklin County there, so not unusual for us. And we operate a number of these under this sort of exact scenario.
The only other thing I would add is just that when the original sales tax increase was levied by the commissioners, the promise was that it would create what at the time was called the Medical Mart and the new convention center. It did that. Without increasing that taxation rate, we're also going to be able to create the largest hotel in Cleveland. So you talk about overperforming for what was promised. I mean, it's with the same taxation rate that was promised to create just the facilities that have been constructed so far, because of the efficiencies and the effectiveness in terms of how those programs have been managed. We're also going to create the largest hotel in Cleveland. So in terms of the taxpayer, in terms of what benefit they got, they're basically, for the same taxation that was levied against them, they're getting the largest hotel in Cleveland, which is going to make the existing facilities just that much more competitive. Any other questions? Well, thank you very much for coming. We appreciate it, and we'll be available. Any of the media that wants to talk to us individually will be here for a few minutes. Thanks very much.